Welcome to the Windy City. It is 70 with a chance of showers. Pittsburgh and Chicago. Steelers winners week 1. The Bears defeated up at Green Bay. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. Week 2. How crucial is this spot right here for the Bears?
Sense of urgency for the Chicago Bears. We talked to Lovie Smith on Friday. You asked him that question. He was sitting on the edge of his seat, and he goes, "We're edgy. I'm edgy." They want that first victory.
Said this could be a signature victory. Having a chance at the Super Bowl champion Steelers, who will kick it away. Toss won by the Bears, and they wanted the football. This game brought to you in high definition here on CBS. And here we go. Pittsburgh playing here for the first time since '95. They drive it down to Johnny Knox, and the rookie speedster is out to the 30-yard line when he's tripped up by Logan. Return of 26 yards. Now, how will Jay Cutler fare today? Coming off the second worst quarterback rating of his career, and the first time ever at any level he threw 4 picks in a game in the loss against the Packers at Lambeau. But we've seen him many times in Denver the last couple of seasons, Phil, and he's had big bounce back games every time he's come off a poor performance.
Yeah, he doesn't carry bad plays over. The good thing for the Chicago Bears, Pittsburgh's defense is the same defense they played last week up in Green Bay.
Matt Forte gets the first handle. He was contained last week by the Packers, just 55 yards on 25 carries. Give him 2 on that carry. The other big off-season acquisition, Pace at left tackle. On the right side, second-year man out of Vanderbilt, Chris Williams, their #1 a year ago. Speaking of Vanderbilt, you got Earl Bennett, who lapped over 1 year as a freshman with Cutler, and there was good chemistry between those two last week in the game against Green Bay. 5 Vanderbilt Commodores in all on this Bears roster. A 2nd and 8 from the 31, and they get it into the hands of Hester. Little spin move to try to elude Harrison, and he's taking it to the right side. William Gaylor has the angle and forces him out after a gain of 2. This Pittsburgh defense last year, #1 in the league, fewest points allowed. #1 in the league, fewest yards allowed. And again, it's Smith, Hampton, and Kiesel up front. And the linebacking core that is so active with Woodley, Ferrier, Timmons, and the defender of the year in 2008, James Harrison. Taylor, Clark, and of course the big news, Polamalu out for about a month with a knee sprain. Carter replaces him today. And you saw Polamalu, who will work with Tyrone Carter throughout this game, be a second set of eyes today, Carter told us last night. Cutler swings it over, and Forte, with his first catch, did not have one last week, immediately hammered by Harrison for no gain. So 3 and out for the Bears.
Talked to Mike Tomlin last night about the quick passes outside that the Chicago Bears throw. He goes, the good thing is we have speed on defense, and the 3-4 defense, that's 1 extra guy standing up. It means a lot, and they do a tremendous job stopping the quick passes.
Brad Maynard, great hang time specialist, to punt it away to Stephon Logan. Angles this to the sideline. Logan, little play on it at all. Well done by Maynard. 52 yards. Here comes Roethlisberger, coming off 10 days ago. Statistically, his best game as far as completions and yards in 3 years. 363 yards, 33 completions. There was a flag on the punt.
Personal foul. Number 24, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So it's against Ike Taylor. Scott Green informs us. And let's look at that Pittsburgh offensive line. Will they create some openings today for that running game, which was stagnant in the game against the Titans? Starks on the left side. Cologne on the right. Of course, the 2 receivers, both Super Bowl MVPs. And Willie Parker last week, only 13 carries, 19 yards. Average yards per rush against Tennessee last week for Pittsburgh was their worst game in 432 games. You have to go all the way back to a game in 1982 since they fared so poorly on the ground. They begin at the 8. It's Parker plowing ahead, and that's a good piece of running for Parker. A Chicago defense that, well, since Lovie Smith came on the scene in 04, has been #1 in the league in takeaways. Though they did not have one last week, Agunlier had a pair of sacks. The news on this side, of course, Urlacher out for the season. Hillenmeyer takes his position. 4 new starters this week in all for the Bears from week 1. And there is Urlacher, dislocated wrist and out for the year, injured reserve. 3-receiver formation for Pittsburgh with Mike Wallace. Quick pass to Hines Ward, who falls for the first.
Good way to always get, you play a defense that's aggressive. That's what the Chicago Bears are. So you do these quick passes outside. They're safe for Ben Roethlisberger. It's good against the blitz, and also takes pressure off of his offensive lineman.
2 tight ends, Heath Miller, who had 8 catches a week ago, and Matt Spaeth. A first down for the Steelers at the 19. Pump fake, deep ball, looking for Holmes, and it's over his head, and Tillman was right there with him.
This is what the Green Bay Packers did last week. Once Hines Ward inside, you make the decision. Is he open down the field? Ben Roethlisberger chooses to throw it up the field to Santonio Holmes. This is the Green Bay Packers did this against the Chicago Bears. Nice pump fake, gets it high and long. But pretty good coverage by the corner that time against Santonio Holmes.
2nd and 10. And the toss, Parker. And the Bears running right down the line with him. Nick Roach, the first to get to him. Roach starting for Tino Isamoah, who's out this week with a knee. That rushing last week, what about it?
Well, of course, it was not good against the Tennessee Titans, one of the best run defenses in the NFL. But when you talk about the Steelers, the weak spot that everybody picks on always is the offensive line. Mike Tomlin did not say he was disappointed, or he didn't say he was happy with it. He's encouraged that it will get better, and as the year goes along, they'll run it better.
They had only 1 rushing first down, a longest run of 8 for the whole game. And on 3rd down, Roethlisberger finally unloads it, and he's got Holmes. Ward throws a block, and he's down at the 42-yard line and a first, a gain of 24.
Well, you cannot complain about the offensive line in the opening Thursday night game or this play. Look at the protection. How many times did he fake pump the football that time? About 3. But the defense, just like last week, the longer he holds it, the more it breaks down, and the more wide open the receivers are.
Looked like it was going to Heath Miller.
It was.
Holmes cut right in front of him, makes the grab.
Santonio said, I'm faster. He got to it first.
From the 41. Good protection for Ben. He's got Miller, and he's into Chicago territory before a couple of Bears bring him down. Hillenmeyer, one of those on the tackle, but it picks up 15 to the tight end.
Well, this bunch route, you see 3 receivers right together. It's a staple of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Every year they put more pass plays in from that type of formation. Very, very hard for the defense to cover.
Remember, they were in a jam after the penalty on the punt, beginning this drive inside their own 10. Moving it now. Here it is over to Holmes. He's got more open space, and he dives to the 25. Got a nice block again from Hines Ward. Goes for 19.
You know what you like, and as we talked to Ben Roethlisberger last night, and as you watch the offense, it's just more and more as time goes on, they're building it around him. And everybody keeps talking about, yes, I know the culture and the history of the Steelers is about running the football, but this quarterback, listen, he's special, so they do more things for him, and he rewards them too, because he's productive, comes through in the clutch, throws it well too.
On first down, it's Parker. Good 101 tackle that time by the rookie out of Oregon State, Offalava.
Well, Jim, I say this. Everybody keeps saying the Steelers, it's defense, run the football. I go, I don't know. I think it's defense and the quarterback. And then we go from there. In the run game, you want it to be good enough to keep the defense honest, so it helps the offensive lineman out so they can protect Ben Roethlisberger easier.
Boy, what a week it's been. Week 2 already with the Jets over the Patriots. Bengals upsetting the Packers. Houston and Tennessee in a wild one. Here we go with the Steelers finding Ward inside the 10, down to the 9. Now the Bears usually come out resilient. They've only given up one opening drive touchdown in their last 28 games, but the Steelers threatening to go over 90 yards. I'd like to welcome those of you who saw the Cincinnati Bengals pull off the surprise up at Lambeau as Cedric Benson rushed for 141 yards, and they held off a late try by the Packers, who got it down to the 10-yard line with seconds to go. Bengals hold on for the big victory. This is Pittsburgh's first series, Jim Nantz, Phil Simms. It started back at their own 9-yard line. First and goal from the Chicago 9. The Bears, by the way, first possession 3 and out. That's Willie Parker for 2. What's been the story for those just joining us, Phil, with this Pittsburgh drive?
Well, it's been a little bit of everything, Jim. Running plays to keep the defense honest. Screens. Ben Roethlisberger getting a long time, and the defense broke down like it did last week, and a big completion down the field. But Steelers very versatile, and lots of different formations and different style of plays on the offensive side.
Roethlisberger calls timeout. There you see it again. Only one touchdown allowed in the last 28 games. Roethlisberger trots to the sideline. He's already thrown for 77 yards on this first possession. Two of the icons, Bear football, Butkus and Sayers, here on the field. Butkus back in the 65 draft, the 3rd pick. Sayers, the 4th pick in that first round. Their jerseys were retired later on the same day. There's Urlacher watching Hillenmeyer playing his position. 2nd and goal. 11th play of this drive coming up for the Steelers. They fake it to Parker, give it instead on the little pass to Miller, and a great tackle for the 2nd time on this series by Offalava.
Really good job by the defense. Nice formation, fake pitch to one side, screen it back to the right, but the defense doesn't go for it. They stay in position. And Offalava, that is an excellent tackle. When they're bigger than you, just get down lower than they are.
Look at this 6th rounder out of Oregon State making the play, starting at strong safety. All right, 12th play of the drive, 3rd and goal.
Always be alert for the quarterback draw in 5 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, he likes it too. He's going to throw it instead right at the goal line, and they push him back. That's Mewelde Moore with the catch. He is not in. Inside the 1, 4th down coming.
Good quick throw by Ben Roethlisberger. And Heath Miller really goes in to block for him to create space, so when they catch it, they can get inside and score. But good reaction by the Bear defense.
Well, they got a short yardage situation. They have been woeful in 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Well, not only last week, but all of last year. They were 31st in the league last year. Next to worst on 3rd and 1s or 4th and 1s. They're going to go for it. Inside the 1, 4th and goal. They're going to try to roll out Roethlisberger. Throws back to the end zone. He has his man Spaeth for the touchdown. Roethlisberger, 1-yard toss on 4th down, and an opening drive by Pittsburgh.
Well, you talk about it. Last week, it just ruined everything about their offense. 3 3rd and 1s, couldn't pick it up, stopped drives. So they change up here. That'll get the defense thinking. So when they get that situation again, the running play or situation should be easier for the Steeler offense.
Well, it's a Chicago defense, Phil, that gave up that 50-yarder at the end of the game, the winner, from Rodgers to Jennings. But before that, they'd only allowed 170 yards all game long. Extra point by Reed is good. But on that drive, it took over 8 minutes. It covered 92 yards by Pittsburgh.
Well, good play action fake. The defensive line, they're not fooled. They're all over Ben Roethlisberger. Then the outlet receiver, Spaeth, back in the end zone. Very nice throw by Ben Roethlisberger.
And he got separation from Danielle Manning. Well, welcome those of you who saw the Houston Texans defeat the Tennessee Titans in Nashville behind Matt Schaub's 4 touchdown passes and 357 yards in the air. Texans rebounding from the opening loss against the Jets. And Tennessee lost the heartbreak overtime game in the opener against Pittsburgh. And the Titans fall to 0-2. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms here at Soldier Field. Steelers just drove it 92 yards on their first possession of the game. And look what Roethlisberger did, including the touchdown pass on 4th and less than a yard to go. 4th and goal inside the 1. He hit Matt Spaeth, his backup tight end, for the touchdown. That drive that, again, covered 92 yards equals the Steelers' longest drive all of last season. Short kick. Davis running it out just across the 30.
Well, I'm sure when the Steelers called this play, they figured good fake. Roethlisberger should be able to run into the end zone untouched. But look at the Bear defenders. And when you put a play in like this, in the NFL, they always give you a second option. And I'll guarantee you, Bruce Arians is going, man, I'm glad we talked about throwing that football to Matt Spaeth in case the run is not there in that situation.
So that's what Pittsburgh did, right down the throat of that Chicago defense first time they had it. Bears received the kick, for those of you just joining us, and went 3 and out. There's a pass, Cutler connecting with Greg Olsen, his tight end. Picks up 6, and this Bears offense needs to do something, keep that defense that just got ramrodded.
Well, a couple of things. You know, we come into the game, we talk to players and coaches. We could feel how edgy the Chicago Bears were, the players, the coaches. And then you talk to the Steelers, relaxed, confident, very sure of who they are and what they could do in this game today.
Trying to keep that defense off the field for a while. Forte, nothing there, maybe a yard, is Ke'Aaron Fox, who had a team-high 9 tackles last week, combined with Casey Hampton, setting up 3rd down. Bears looking for their first down.
And Jim, we talked about talking to Lovie Smith, and he has taken over the play calling for the defense. Says, I had time to get back down in the trenches. So he presents the defensive game plan to the team every week. Coach is on the field and calls the plays during the game.
On 3rd and 3, Cutler gets the first down. Oh, ball is out. Incomplete, it's ruled. Olsen did not hold on. Lawrence Timmons knocked it out, stripped it away. So once again, 3 downs and a punt.
Quick passes, afraid of this pass rush by the Steelers. I don't blame them. Good throw right on target. And Lawrence Timmons, one of those players, he's back. Mike Tomlin says he makes a difference. Like Troy Polamalu, just make big plays to change games around.
Logan waiting for the Maynard boot. First one went 52 yards. This one's going to bounce down to the 21. And Logan, chased by a whole army of Bears, shoved out. There's another flag down here on the special teams after the 42-yard punt. Steelers were penalized on their first return.
Illegal block in the back. Number 55, receiving team. While the ball was in the air, it'll be enforced from the end of the kick.
This time it's called on Patrick Bailey of Pittsburgh. But the Steelers up a quick 7. Second possession for them coming up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Priority mail flat rate boxes only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The MetLife Blimp providing the aerial coverage here in Chicago, teaming up with CBS and our coverage of the National Football League on what's been a beautiful weekend here in the Windy City. Low 70s, just a little hint of autumn, but it is getting a little chilly, and rain may be on the way before this game is out. Here's Parker, hit behind the line of scrimmage, hit by Lance Briggs, and a loss of a yard.
Well, Lance Briggs loves his defense, and I said, what do you like about it? Well, I like the fact that every play I'm up there and I can either fake blitzing, I'm going to blitz, or I do blitz. It's very aggressive. And of course, any defensive player likes that style of defense, Jim.
Lance Briggs telling us on Friday we need to be desperate. Every week, people talking about, you know, you come home, your home opener, you're already 0-1, and, you know, it's just in a 16-game schedule, you can't build too big of a barrier too early. So we've got to be desperate every time we play, and that's Parker's longest run of the first 2 games, running behind Trey Essex, and it's good for a dozen.
Yeah, nice change-up. Second and long, you expect pass. So they run a little inside trap. Trey Essex came on to excellent blocks, and Willie Parker back to 100%. Little problem with his hamstring last week. And the style of offense the Steelers run, running backs got to know, play the situations, try to run tough, get that extra yard or 2.
Spaeth, the touchdown maker, in motion to a slot as Roethlisberger eludes the sack, finds Miller, and Briggs closes in on him, but not until Miller runs out to the 30-yard line, a run of 9.
Boy, in the pocket. Bill Cowher said it earlier today. He's just so big, he can just shed tacklers. Wally Ogunleye said it. He played him a couple years ago. He hit him one time. He goes, wow, that was different hitting him, because you can just tell. I don't know. I'd say he's at least 250 pounds, right, Jim?
He's a big man.
Plays heavy on his feet, really relaxed. That makes his weight settle down even more. That's why it's hard to bring him down with an arm tackle.
Sets up 2nd and 1. Parker easily with the first. And another nice run he rips off for the 2nd straight carry. Another 11 yards for Parker.
You always hear that word patience with running backs, and it is true. It's supposed to go left. The running play is designed to go left. There's nothing there. Oh, look at this. The defense over pursuing. And when they over pursue, good runners see it, they read it, and they make you pay.
Ball kind of juggled at the end, but Parker held on to it. He's up to 30 yards on 7 carries. Final half-minute of the first quarter. One dominated by Pittsburgh. Parker going to lose some yardage this time off that total. Alex Brown read it out. A 5-yard setback.
Well, that's what they needed. This Bears defense, it's built and predicated on those defensive linemen really getting up the field and trying to ruin running plays, and of course get to the quarterback when he's throwing.
Well, the quarter's coming to an end. The Bears did not even pick up a first down. 7-0 Steelers after 1. We'll return to Chicago after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
I'm coming home again. Now I'm coming home again. Maybe we could start again.
Welcome back to the NFL on CBS. Jim Nance, Phil Simms here in Chicago, and Ben Roethlisberger on target today so far. He's completed 9 of 10, including his last 8 throws. 1 for a touchdown to Matt Spaeth on 4th and goal from inside the 1. 2nd down, 15. As we begin the 2nd quarter. broken middle with Noeldy Moore, and he gets back the 5 yards that were lost on the Parker rush on first down. Roethlisberger taking him 92 yards on that first series.
Well, it's a variety of throws, and that gives the quarterback confidence. He threw under pressure. When they were open down the field, he hit him. And then on the run, he made a tremendous throw for the touchdown.
Remember how hot he was in the second half in overtime against Tennessee? He's now completed 27 of his last 30 passes since halftime last week. Here he is. Third down. He's got another hookup. It's Hines Ward. Inside the 40 and down at the 37. 10 straight completions for Roethlisberger. This one for 21.
It was a blitz by the Chicago Bears, and the Bears play it this way. They're going to send all those people, and then they're going to play a zone behind it, and look at the space. There is nobody around Hines Ward. They just say, we're going to get to the quarterback before a receiver can get to that open spot. And that was one of the plays, one of the blitzes the Steelers were expecting, and they expected to get some good yards against it.
The Steelers offense is already converted on a 3rd and 12 and a 3rd and 11. Roethlisberger hit when he threw it. Look out, he's picked. It's Tillman with the theft. There is a flag down now, a second one. These are 2 separate fouls. Some 25 yards apart are the flags. Alex Brown hit Roethlisberger on the throw. Tillman picked it off. But we have 2 flags.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, 68 offense. That's decline. Illegal block in the back. Number 35. That penalty will be enforced. First down, Chicago.
So the Zachary Bowman infraction will take some of that return back, but a takeaway, the first takeaway of this young season by the Bears.
Troy! Big-time players make big-time plays. Talk about that fourth quarter interception.
Well, you know, I owe my gray hair to Head and Shoulders. It's for more than just dandruff.
Right. No, I want to know about the game-winning interception.
Head and Shoulders, the 7 great things for my scalp and hair.
Didn't ask about your hair, Troy.
You asked with your eyes, Trent. You asked with your eyes.
Head and Shoulders, 7 benefits, 1 bottle. Respect the scalp, get the hair.
Don't miss the season premiere of Gary Unmarried, Wednesday, only CBS. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Head & Shoulders. Respect the scalp, love the hair. And by AARP's Health Action Now. Get the facts on healthcare reform at healthactionnow.org.
And a look down at the Buckingham Fountain here in Chicago, where they have something to celebrate at last. A pick by homegrown talent Charles Tillman, picking off Roethlisberger. Tillman was a teammate in college at Louisiana Lafayette with Ike Taylor, the corner, who's right now on Hester, corner of the Steelers. Here's Cutler with the completion to Kellen Davis. And the Bears have their first down.
Pressure on the quarterback, that's what it's all about. Make them make decisions faster than they want, and then most importantly, the football doesn't go where you want it to. But Alex Brown on the hit, and you said it, Jim. Lovie Smith must have said the word turnover to us at least 10 times the other day, because the Bears since 2004 have led the NFL in getting turnovers.
Cutler on a rollout, and would have been a second straight catch by Davis, and then right in the perfect spot. He dropped it. Update time. James Brown, New York.
Jim and Phil, after spotting San Diego a 7-0 lead, the Ravens come back. Flacco takes him 9 plays, 68 yards. Willis McGahee, a bull run to the end zone, all knotted at 7-all. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right, JB, and how about it? Darren Sproles, 81 yards. Pass played for the first touchdown. That should be a good one. Ravens, Chargers, 7-7. JB will keep us posted. Here, it's a 2nd and 10 for the Bears. After a drop ball, and now back they go to Earl Bennett. Second-year man out of Vanderbilt who had 7 grabs a week ago against Green Bay. Has your fantasy football league website let you down? Well, there's still time to upgrade to the award-winning Fantasy Football Commissioner. A special offer, plus help moving your league, all available. CBSSports.com/upgrade. The best there is. Fantasy football. Looking at an Aaron Smith, who his coach Mike Tomlin told us last night is a player version of Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator. You know what you're going to get every game. Third and 3. And what a grab it is. That's Johnny Knox, the rookie out of Abilene Christian, taking up the first down near the 40. James Ferrier had pressure on Cutler. He had to unload it in a hurry. This was some snag for 13.
It's the cross blitz by 2 linebackers inside. Tremendous throw by Jay Cutler, just getting it off. And hey, last week he stopped on a route at the end of the game that maybe cost the Chicago Bears a victory. Not this time. Keeps moving. Jumps up. What a catch.
First down at the 40. Take the give to Forte. Now they throw it to him. There is a flag. James Harrison was back there in the area of the quarterback. And that's a 5-yard completion.
Holding. Offense. Number 37. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's coming back. Called on fullback Jason McKee. Thursday, CSI is back for a whole new season. The first 2 minutes, you don't want to miss it. Don't walk into the room late. The season premiere of CSI on America's #1 network.
The Chicago Bear offense, a big concern, and I think a huge key to this game today. Can the running backs and the tackles, can they block James Harrison and Lamar Woodley? Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator, knows it. It's why you see him throw a lot of quick passes.
On 1st and 20, straight drop back Cutler. Underneath, Forte, and just gets 5 of it back. He may have bobbled that a bit, Forte. We may be discussing whether or not it was a catch. Okay, it's going to hold up. Still, it's going to be 2nd down and 15. Oh, I don't know. But is it worth taking one of your challenges here for the 5 yards? And still 2nd and 15. Steelers are going to let it go. Cutler. Good catch this time. Boy, Davis dropped the simple one, but makes the tough one this time. Goes for 6. It'll still be 3rd and about 9.
I'll tell you, Jay Cutler threw under a lot of pressure last week, moved around. How about this? 5 guys coming after him, falling backwards on his back foot and throwing it. And that's, you know, heard a lot of criticism. Threw across the field last week. He threw off his back foot. He makes a lot of plays trying those types of throws. And most of the time, he wins those battles.
Trying to keep the drive going. Trying to get the midfield. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Cutler rifles it too high for Knox, who had separation from William Gay. He knows he had a man open.
He did. He also knew he had pressure coming from his right side. The Steelers blitz. They came free. He rushed the throw just a little bit, and by rushing it, makes him throw a little high, and he knows it. When you get an opportunities against the Steelers defense, you can't miss many of them.
Well, they pick up a pair of first downs, their first 2 of the game. Well, they still haven't crossed midfield. Maynard, 3rd punt of this one. And that's a 44-yard punt to Logan, who's tackled at the 24. 7-0 Pittsburgh. 9:40 to go, first half. Well, we're back. We know that Joe Frazier could take a good punch. Now we know Andre Frazier can take a kick to the head.
We can hear it. We can hear it from here.
Best starting position of the 3 drives for the Steelers from the 22. And a sliding grab by Mike Wallace, the rookie out of Ole Miss. Picks up 3.
Well, I'd say so far the Steelers defense, just to go back to it, it's Troy Polamalu is out. But so far they've counted themselves very well.
Pittsburgh 25. Shard Mendenhall comes in. He's a Chicago area kid. Actually out of Skokie, Illinois. Went to Niles West High School. Last year's #1 pick for the Steelers. It was a short rookie season with a knee injury. Lined up behind Roethlisberger, 2nd down and 7. Going right side, over to Ward. Manning and Tillman. Nope, shove him out of bounds. 3rd and short coming up for Pittsburgh. Well, we talked to Ben Roethlisberger last night, and he really enjoyed, didn't he, Phil, having the extra time off after playing that Thursday night game, talking about the intensity, the velocity of the hits you get that first week.
Well, yeah, you're just not used to being hit as a quarterback. Their first game is a big shock to you. So he said those extra days getting over the hits that the Titans put on him really helped him.
3rd and 3. Alex Brown barking out some signals to his defenders, fellow defenders. And a timeout called by Chicago.
Well, frustration by the Bears defense. They don't know what to do. Watch 93. Maguglia says, what? So they call the timeout. Everybody was upset.
But while they took that timeout, the skies have opened up. It's 3rd and 3, and it's raining. Roethlisberger makes the throw to Santonio Holmes for the first out at the 40. Gain of 10.
Yeah, good job just hanging in there. Noel Moore, good block in the backfield. Another blitz by the Bears. And when you blitz them, let's just say this. When I talk to the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, Bruce Arians, they go, well, if they play zone defense, we'll pick them apart. And I go, what about if they go man-to-man? Then we're going to make big plays. So very confident in their passing game coming in here against this Bears defense.
First down, Roethlisberger. Right through the fingertips of Holmes. Tomorrow on CBS, see how it all began. The science, the shades. David Caruso and the team, the CSI Miami season premiere tomorrow on America's most watched network.
Boy, it's raining hard now.
In a field that already is very spotty, just re-sodded this week after a U2 concert last weekend more or less destroyed what they had. On 2nd and 10. That is Mendenhall for a loss of a yard. Of course, the Steelers, you know, this is field conditions they're not unaccustomed to. You know, with the weather and all they go through, particularly late season. Hard to grow that grass, but it's coming up here. As you can see, this freshly planted sod.
Tim, to the Steelers, this is a fast field. There's no doubt about it. But I watched it during warm-ups. It doesn't look pretty, but I didn't see divots coming up. I did not see any players slipping either.
You might say after the concert and the start of this game, it's a beautiful day.
I don't get
Pittsburgh. I'll let you borrow my iPod. There's a little procedure penalty going against the Steelers.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, the crowd noise, it just makes you anxious because it's not that you're listening for the snap count. You're just going on movement because the Steelers have a silent snap count. Roethlisberger just gives the center a little motion. They time it up, and everybody just tries to go at the same time.
So 3rd and 15. They've already cashed in on a couple of these long situations. Here comes a big-time blitz. Across the middle, ball deflected twice and falls incomplete. Tillman almost had a 2nd interception. Alex Brown was one who got a fingertip on it.
Offside. Defense.
Well,
number 93.
Wouldn't matter.
5-yard penalty.
Jumped.
3rd down.
So the Steelers will get another crack at it. 3rd and 10 it'll be.
You know, it's the perfect defense for the Chicago Bears in a situation like this. A little wind into the quarterback's face. It's pouring rain. You play it safe. You play off 3rd and long. So you blitz. You try to get that turnover. The opportunity was there.
Gould trying to pad that sack total. He had 2 last week. Now they back off. Roethlisberger protected. Pass too high. Kevin Payne had a play on it after it sailed over Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, it just came out of the Roethlisberger, his hand a little funny. And the worst time for quarterbacks when it starts to rain is right now, because the footballs, once they get saturated and really get wet, they're much easier to handle than they are right away. Little slick, that's why the football went high.
And Devin Hester is ready. Backtracking and letting it go. Beautiful job here by the Steelers. Sepulveda, and the ball down by Joe Burnett. 59 yards down at the 2. 3-1 yardage. Steelers to Bears. 7-0 on the board. You factor in the numbers of last week up at Green Bay, and the Bears have had 11 first-half drives, and their offense has not produced a point. Adrian Peterson is in the backfield. Fake to him. Now throw it to him, and right off his hands. There is a flag. Cutler was hit late, I believe.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 92, defense.
That's James
15-yard
Harrison,
penalty, first
the
down.
defender of the year last year.
Jay Cutler throws it in the flat. Oh, yes, and it's
low.
It's low and late. You see what's going to happen to James Harrison today. Tight end blocks him, running back hits him.
James Harrison, of course, with the longest touchdown in Super Bowl history. He made history on that 100-yard return on the last play of the half last February.
Of course, everybody knows by now. I think you've heard it, and we talked about it yesterday. Wasn't even supposed to be in coverage. He was supposed to blitz. He goes, it just didn't make sense. I know they were going to throw it quick, so I dropped back.
First down Bears. Look out. Oh, wow. Thought Ike Taylor might have a play on that. That was Hester who had to go through his hands. It was some play by Harrison, though, isn't it? He said when he first got the ball in his hands, he said to himself, I'm gone.
I'm going all the way. That's right.
And then all of a sudden, it was like a bunch of killer bees were coming around me, swarming in on me. He said he got down to about the 10. I said, I've gone this far, I might as well take it in.
That's
with no time left.
Drop passes. 3 by Chicago, a couple by Pittsburgh.
Oh, an open hole. Adrian Peterson powering ahead for 15 yards. Frank Omiel, the left guard, with a good hole opening block.
It is to the right side. You see the guard pulled around, seals it. McKee gets a good kick out block, and the Bears know, no matter what, they've got to keep this defense honest. You worry about pass protection, you got to show them you're willing to run the football, even if you don't have success.
Biggest play by the Bears so far, and on first down, Cutler steps up, flings it open. Knox into Pittsburgh territory and out of bounds at the 45. That's good for 22.
Jay Cutler in the pocket. Watch this throw. Moving to his left, throws it back to the right. No, he's not supposed to do it. But Johnny Knox sees that he's covered immediately. Initially, breaks back out. And as Johnny Knox, I'm sorry. And as Mike Tomlin said last night to us, this guy is really fast. And you can see it when you're here. We saw it. We watched him getting ready for the game, and we noticed it at practice, too.
Good-looking rookie, isn't he? He's got some kind of speed to burn, too. They say he might even be faster than Hester. From the 45 and on the Pittsburgh side for the first time. He's open. Olsen. Did he hold on long it up. No, that is the hit by Tyrone Carter. And Olsen is dizzy, and Carter is too. My goodness, a nasty collision. Both players are going to need some time. We'll be right back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Papa John's, celebrating 25 years of better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, the all-new 2010 SRX, the Cadillac of crossovers. And by Miller Lite. There's light beer, and then there's triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
Back at Soldier Field, Tyrone Carter, he's hobbling like he may have pulled his left hamstring. And Greg Olsen taking the dizzying hit, incomplete. And there's Monday now. Remember, now they're on to their third player at strong safety with Troy Polamalu out for a month. Carter sits out at least this play. Second down and 10. Set up screen. Forte backpedals to about the 38. Vicious collision it was.
Well, they're running so fast, and this could have been a penalty because Tyrone Carter leads with the top of his helmet. It's not helmet to helmet. When the receiver's going for the football, you cannot hit him anywhere in that body with your helmet first.
3rd and 3 for the Bears. Good footwork by Cutler, who unleashes it incomplete. There is a flag. He's going for Knox. Looked like for a minute Ferrier might have him for the sack. He stepped aside.
Holding, defense, number 94.
Automatic first.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it happened before he broke the pocket, and really, as we talked about, Lovie Smith says Jay Cutler's movement is just much better than they thought. Top of the screen, 94, Timmons. He tripped him. It could have been incidental tripping, but they probably thought he was pulled down.
Carter remains out. Olsen's back on the field for Chicago. First down carry. Peterson right into a wall for no gain.
You know, Tudo, Jim, is it right? We've watched Jay Cutler at Denver. We saw him play Green Bay, and his movement just catches everybody by surprise. They caught his teammates here. They caught the coaches, and he does it, I think, at the pace that allows him to always look down the field as he's moving to throw the football.
You know, Ron Turner and Lovie Smith talking about it on Friday. They knew what kind of arm he had, but they've been surprised by how agile the quarterback they got from the Broncos, just how much he can bring it around the pocket. He's got Knox for a first down, and he is tackled at the 17-yard line.
Boy, just a good mixture of plays by the Chicago Bears offense. Running the football a little bit, some quick screens. Now he drops back, and they get caught up. Two receivers kind of cross, and Gay is not able to get to Knox fast enough.
That's a time you would think better take advantage of it now while there's this disruption. Not only Polamalu, of course, out as we knew coming in, but his replacement is out, Tyrone Carter.
Well, what it does, when you're missing players, you have to simplify what you do on the defensive side.
They go gun on first down, and Cutler has Peterson at the 11. That's William Gay coming up for the stick. Gain of 6.
But when you talk about the Steelers defense, too, and it's something just, I don't know what, all of a sudden I just realized it. They have so many older players on that side of the football. Of course, they're coached by Dick LeBeau. It is a complicated defense. They have a lot of specialty players, especially their defensive linemen, and they know the system, and they just keep working it. They survive, and that's why there's Dick LeBeau. That's why they can overcome injuries and substitutions.
2nd and 4. First threat of the day by the Bears. Cutler to the end zone. Oh, and he slipped. That was Olsen. Would have been a touchdown. 2-minute warning in Chicago.
Watch Greg Olsen's left foot as he goes to the ground. It's not there. You see how it turns, and it makes him slip as he's going to get the football, which would have been a touchdown.
Tried to make one last long stride for separation, and he slipped, setting up 3rd and 3 from the Pittsburgh 11. Cutler looks left, goes left. Peterson stays up long enough to pick up the first, right on the mark. That was Ike Taylor who came up to hit him low and try to stop him short of the first. Peterson having a good series here for the Bears.
Yeah, he is, and that's knowing the situation. Of course, being tough. And the Pittsburgh corners, they're very good tacklers. Ike Taylor hit him square below the waist, but as you said, Adrian Peterson able to pick up a big first down.
So Peterson stays out there, not Forte. 1st and goal to go. Peterson squeezes out a yard. The Pittsburgh defense that was best in the league last year in keeping you off the board. Fewest points allowed. They were almost #1 in every category.
Jim, they have everything you need on defense to win all those categories like they did. They're fast, they're strong, they can rush the passer out of just 4 people. They give you unique blitzes. And of course, Troy Polamalu, when he's in there, he covers up a lot of mistakes too.
They're also #1 in the league in red zone defense. Forte comes out to the right side. 2nd and goal. Cutler. Knocked back for a yard loss, and that's Tyrone Carter, who just came back and makes the play. What a sack.
What a job by Pittsburgh's defense. Staying in place, never panicking. Nobody open. Cutler has to take the sack.
Timeout, Bears. So the Steelers trying to clamp down here with 23 seconds to go, and they have that timeout, by the way, called by Mike Tomlin and the Steelers.
Yeah, wants to reorganize, make sure they understand the situation that's coming up.
What do you look for here, Phil?
Well, if you spread the defense out, I always like inside receivers doing a double move. In other words, make a move around the goal line and go to the back of the end zone.
That'll be like Hester here in the right slot. 3rd and goal.
There it was.
Cutler throws, and it's caught for a touchdown. Kellen Davis.
What a good job by Jay Cutler. He looked at Greg Olsen first. He was covered, and then he comes back. And the fact that he came back to the other tight end second, that allowed him to get open because the defenders were watching Jay Cutler look left.
Robbie Gould to tie the game with 19 seconds to go in the half. The first points produced this season in the first half by the Chicago offense. A 97-yard drive for a touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. Follow your favorite team no matter where you live with NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. And by GM. May the best car win.
Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. All the scores and highlights and recaps from the early games coming up. Sprint halftime report. Well, the Bears offense has been awakened. They kept it for some 6 minutes, and it ends up in the hands of the second-year man out of Michigan State, Kellen Davis, 5th-round pick a year ago. And that is the longest drive, 97 yards, allowed by the Steelers in 3 years. Short kick comes to Muwaldy Moore. And we'll see what Ben wants to do with it with 13 seconds to go, starting at the 34.
Well, Jim, let's look at the touchdown. Watch Jay Cutler look to the left. He has a slant goal. by Greg Olsen. He's covered. He moves to his right, off balance, and fires it in there. And the fact that he looked left, the defenders were watching his eyes, and that allowed Davis to be open. Well, when you score a touchdown, you want a souvenir. 87.
And a knee, and halftime on the way. 7-7 game here at Soldier Field. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Boomer, and Coach Gower. All the scores and highlights. First half is complete in Chicago. 7-7 Steelers Bears. Back after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
And welcome back to our New York studios and the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm James Brown, along with my guys Dan, Coach, and Boomer. At the half, all knotted at 7.
You know, it's all right, JB. This is why they got Jay Cutler, because Jay Cutler came back. He's an elite quarterback. We said it before. Came off 4 interceptions last week. He has not turned the football over, has taken what the defense has given him, and put a thread of the needle for that touchdown pass. This is the kind of game that the Buffalo Bills thought they were going to get when they got Jay Cutler.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears,
right,
no doubt.
All right, now we move along to the Ravens and the Chargers. Dan.
Hey, the Baltimore Ravens have been running the football in San Diego. Willis McGahee, get in there. That's his second touchdown of the afternoon.
Hey, guys, look at this. Shannon Sharp delivered the game ball. Congratulations to Shannon. He's going into the Hall of Fame, the Ring of Honor there in Denver. And Kyle Orton playing pretty good. It's not been a real exciting game, but right here is a touchdown pass. They're leading with about 1:30 to go in the second quarter, 10-6.
Well, Byron Leftwich has got 2 touchdowns. One is thrown for, and another one was picked off by Dante Whitner, taken all the way back. Piscatelli returned a fumble return from Fred Jackson, and we get a late score from Tampa Bay in this game, 20-14 at the half.
Hey, Coach Singletary, got to love this. Look, right up the middle. This guy's underrated back. He's one of the best backs in the league. Frank Gore, he goes 79 yards, almost gets caught, but he has 126 yards on the afternoon on 11 attempts.
Hey, guys, what a day for Mark Sanchez in the second half. He was 11-17, 148 yards, and a touchdown pass to Dustin Keller. How about the Jet defense? Second week in a row, no touchdowns against them. Tom Brady was harassed often by the blitz, as you can see right here. And let's hear from Coach Belichick and Mark Sanchez after the game.
Well, I think everybody played hard, and I think that we had our moments. I mean, it was a competitive game, but we just didn't make enough plays to win, and that's, like I said, that starts with me and involves everybody that was, goes for everybody that was involved in the game. Players, assistant coaches, we just collectively we didn't do good enough job. That's all there is to it.
You know what? This is a huge win for this team, and we changed things at halftime. Just opened things up and really came out to play within ourselves and had a great half. There's still a lot of mistakes to clean up, but we'll take this win.
So Palmer had an up-and-down day. 2 interceptions led to touchdowns for Green Bay, but then he came back and threw 3 touchdown passes, including this one. Chad Ochocinco of Cincinnati goes into Green Bay and upsets the Packers.
Hey, and Brett Favre in the day. Solid day, 23-27, 155 yards in 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson, 92 yards rushing as Minnesota handles Detroit.
And inept offense out of Oakland most of the day is capped off on this 9-play, 61-yard drive at the end of the game by Darren McFadden, and Oakland goes into Kansas City and beats them.
Bunch of points from the Tennessee Titans and Texans. Matt Schaub, 4 touchdowns on the day, 307 yards as Houston wins.
Jacksonville had 3 turnovers, and Kurt Warner 24, 26, and 2 touchdowns, and they bounced back from last week's loss 31-17 over Jacksonville.
Jason Campbell was 23 at 35, 242 yards, no touchdowns. Sean Squeezem by virtue of 3 field goals. Washington wins over St. Louis 9-7.
And the Saints are scoring some points, and Drew Brees, look out. He's 24 of 33, 3 touchdowns. That's 9 touchdowns on the year for Drew Brees.
And how about Matt Ryan? 3 touchdowns. Michael turned over 100 yards, and the Atlanta Falcons go to 2-0, and Carolina drops to 0-2.
All right, let's take you back out to Chicago for the second half of Pittsburgh at Chicago.
Heck of a game.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network. CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
And the Steelers coming out for the second half. This game tied at 7-7. What a start for Pittsburgh. Driving at 92 yards the first time they had it, but the Bears surged late in that second quarter. You knew it was going to be rough with these two teams. Franchises built on defense through the years. That's the end of the drive. Roethlisberger to Spaeth for a touchdown. They were driving again when he was picked, and the momentum late in the first half belonged to the Bears. Cutler connecting for the touchdown pass. 7-7, second half on the way here on CBS. Vince Vaughn cheering on the Bears. 7-7. Second half coming up, and a reminder this game is brought to you in high definition here on CBS. We had a rather significant rain shower roll through here in the second quarter, but that's escaped the area. Steelers will be receiving the second half kick. Two touchdowns in the game, both coming at the end of long drives. 92-yard drive by Pittsburgh, 97 yards by the Bears. And they kick this one through the end zone away from Logan, so they'll have the touchback at the 20-yard line. You know, Phil Simms, the way that game started with the way Pittsburgh drove right down the field, you might have thought that this might be a big Pittsburgh lead at halftime. Instead, all tied.
Yeah, you say look out, you know, yeah. Chicago Bears. But Chicago Bears, what they did in the first half that was impressive, they protected Jay Cutler. He didn't get hit much. You give him time. He made throws, very good decisions. And on the other side, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got to be worried. They go, wow, we got two really good outside pass rushers, and they're not getting to Jay Cutler. So that's just, to me, that's the most interesting facet of the game I want to watch here in the second half.
First snap of the third quarter. It's going to be a running play with Parker. He's going to try to back his way to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it no gain. First half numbers, really all the offense was going when teams were going from our left to right. You see the first quarter for Pittsburgh, 119 yards in that direction, 119 in that direction for the Bears. Second quarter. The turnover, and that was the interception. Tillman off a Roethlisberger throw. Second down and 10. Quick pass incomplete. Looking for Holmes. The Steelers touchdown came on a 4th and goal to go from the 1. And then the Bears in the last minute of the first half, they hit a tight end as well for a touchdown. So backup tight ends with the game's 2 touchdowns. After that hot start, you see Roethlisberger 3 of his last 7, including the interception. Alex Brown trying to point to a Steeler who violated something, but no flag. Trying to load it up. Roethlisberger almost intercepted. Hillenmeyer. Hunter Hillenmeyer had a hand on it.
A good fake blitz by the Bears. Excellent protection for Ben Roethlisberger. The receiver down the middle of the field is wide open, but it doesn't come out of Roethlisberger's hand cleanly. So it comes lower than he expected. You could see the nose of the ball was down. That's why they knocked it down.
And there's the punt by Sepulveda. Again, it's a deep one, but Hester has a chance to run it back to the 35. So good starting point coming for the Bears. 55-yard boot, 10-yard return. 7-7, third quarter.
Let's go back and watch Jay Cutler's touchdown throw with CBS eye vision as he looks to the left. The double move by Greg Olsen. Look at the defenders to the right. They are looking at Jay Cutler, and that allows Davis to get right to the edge of the end zone and score the touchdown.
Loving that eye vision. I don't know how you do that. Take all those players off the field that fast.
I got a lot of power, man.
You are. You got the juice.
The problem is it doesn't work up here.
You'd like to remove one?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. From the 35. Cutler with Woodley on him, and a wobbler almost intercepted by Ike Taylor. Woodley, some kind of influence on that pass. Questionable throw by Cutler.
This is what I expected to see more of. How about that? Chris Williams, big offensive tackle. Lamar Woodley, an outside linebacker, just overpowers him. And Jay Cutler, it's really a good job of getting rid of the football, but when you're under duress like that, you can't control where it goes.
Trying to hit Johnny Knox. Again, Woodley almost had the sack. Cutler was not sacked in that first half. Delay give, and that is Forte, who is having yet another quiet game as he did last Sunday. Gain of a yard.
Well, doesn't it make sense? I kind of really started out the game saying this defense is just like Green Bay's. They run the same scheme. Dom Capers, defensive coordinator at Green Bay, he came out of this years ago, coached the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and they run the same type of fronts, blitzes, very hard to run against.
So third down coming for Chicago, needing to get to the 45 to move the sticks. In quickly, again Woodley, along with Timmons. Those two gave Cutler no chance in a 3-and-out. Oh, there's a late flag here. A late flag. What's it going to be here, Phil?
Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Quarterback also lost him down. Fourth down.
When the quarterback is in the pocket from tackle to tackle, and all he is doing is throwing the football strictly just to avoid the sack, which he was there, then that's an easy call. That's intentional grounding.
Maynard, good first half performance. Punt it to Logan, who made quite an impression on Mike Tomlin and the Steeler coaching staff during the preseason to make this roster. This kid has breakout speed, takes it at the 30. And a swarm meets him at the 34 with a flag. 42-yard boot.
Illegal block in the back. Number 24, receiving team.
Third time in this game now. The punt return team for the Steelers have been flagged. Both teams have had one possession in the second half. Both 3-and-out. Game tied in Chicago.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Sony Bravia HD TV. High definition. It's in Sony's DNA. And by the new stuffed crust pan pizza from Pizza Hut. America's favorite for pizza, pasta, and wings.
So after a penalty on the return, Pittsburgh commences from the 21. And they call on Willie Parker. Hunter Hillenmeyer makes the stick. He's made a couple of plays here, and again under a spotlight here, taking the place of Urlacher. It's not too late to sign up for the only free fantasy league that is the league. Live scoring video and more. Plus, you can win a trip to the Super Bowl. NFL.com. How about his play so far, Phil?
Well, he's done very well, Jim, and I'll explain it to everybody. The Bears are such an aggressive defense. They blitz a lot. It's not like in years past where the middle linebacker was such a vital part of zone coverage in the pass game and making the tackles in the run game. 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger, no. Trying to sweep it off the ground was Hines Ward. Ward, who had 4 catches in that first half for 44 yards. You know, to me, the game has changed a little bit. The throwers, the quarterbacks, the receivers have gotten so good. The schemes, they can find open spaces. So you got to challenge offenses. You got to get up there and blitz them and play more man-to-man. And make quarterbacks make faster decisions and pinpoint throws. Roethlisberger has misfired on his last 5 attempts. They have not had a first down since the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
is looking long. Now all kinds of time. Hits Mwelde Moore, and that's going to depend on the spot here. I believe he has it. Moore does indeed. This game featuring the top 2 all-time rushers in Tulane University history. Moore #1, Forte #2. By about 100 yards.
Really good job. Waited as long as he could to go down the field, and then finds that outlet receiver. And look down the field. Nobody's open. Linebackers are back. But just like he did last week. The longer he waits, the more the defense drops back. So when he drops it off short, they're able to pick up those first downs. You know, just watching the Bear defense too, Jim. If you're a quarterback, it almost makes me nervous. Every play, everybody is up there faking like they're going to blitz, sir. So you just, it's hard to get a feel for what they're going to do to you down to down.
From the 31. Roethlisberger sideline and through the hands. Holmes has dropped a couple today. Well, it was a Bears defense, Phil, that at the beginning of this game was very unsettled and unsure. Gave up a 92-yard drive in the first minutes of this game. 8 minutes, actually. The Steelers kept it, but what's happened since? They've adjusted and certainly gotten the better of it since. Let's check out second down. 31 with Parker split wide to the right. And that's to Spaeth. He had the touchdown catch. Well, I've been watching Polamalu. The intensity, even out of uniform, it's apparent. The same thing for Urlacher.
Yeah, I like what they're doing.
Well, he's kind of laughing it up this time, but I saw him chewing on his nails and earlier.
Well, we saw him during one timeout. He was more than chewing on. He was chewing on some players. You remember?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? It was. So I do like that. Support your teammates, and they're such good players and smart. They can give information to their teammates that can help them out there on the field.
3rd and 2. They seal the pocket for a while, and then they take him down. Roethlisberger decked. Alex Brown and Anthony Adams forced the punt, sacking Roethlisberger for the first time today.
Well, it finally collapsed, but this is not an offensive line sack. This is strictly on the quarterback. That's how he makes so many plays. He holds on to it. Look at that. Nobody open down the field to throw to.
Sepulveda showing a big leg so far. This one travels 48 yards, and Hester just a yard return. Andre Frazier made a couple of hits on special teams today. Bears defense come alive since that first quarter. Bears defense with a sack, forcing a punt. Jay Cutler and company back on the field. Cutler, you would have thought, entrenched in Denver for a career. Came out of the season last year, met with Coach Shanahan, felt good about the direction of the franchise. Shanahan fired just a couple of days later. There's Cutler flinging it. Having a productive day so far is Kellen Davis, but of course the coaching change was made. Josh McDaniels brought in. Cutler found out that they were talking about making a deal to get Matt Castle, and he wanted out. Felt betrayed. Ended up getting dealt here for Kyle Orton. 2 1s, a 3 and a 5. And how about the timing for him getting in the flow of things in Chicago?
Well, he said all season he was trying to play catch up because he missed their first camp, and he spent all summer with the receivers just trying to get used to the system, get used to them, and it, as we have found out, it takes time.
68 offense, 5-yard penalty.
A little timing issue here, and you know, one other thing he had to make amends on, or I guess maybe Ron Turner did, his offensive coordinator, had to clear the air a little bit about an old scholarship offer.
Yeah, Ron Turner, head coach at Illinois at the time.
Cutler was talking to one of his assistants. He thought he'd been offered a scholarship to Illinois, and Turner kind of was out of the mix on that. picked him up at the airport, said, hey, did we or did we not offer you a scholarship? I don't want any hard feelings. Second down run. Very well sealed as Forte. And again, unable to go free.
Jim, to finish it up, Ron Turner was like, because he's been here all of his life. You were the head coach of Illinois. Jay Cutler is in your area, and he ends up going to Vanderbilt. Well, Ron Turner never offered him the scholarship himself, so that eliminated some tension right away in their relationship.
And he's sending down a play to his quarterback. And third down and 8. And again, movement by the Bears. Roberto Garza.
Offense. Number 63. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Roberto will back him up another 5 yards. And with the false start, nothing's happening so far here in the first 6 minutes of the second half. Anyway, Jay Cutler from Santa Claus, Indiana, but his family had ties even closer to the Chicago area, up in Chesterton. His parents have moved back there, and they live only about 45 minutes away from the Windy City, across the state line past Gary. It's all worked out quite well for the team that he followed in his youth. Another short pass to Bennett. Walker's out in front. He's got the first down. Orlando Pace helping create the avenue for Earl Bennett.
It's a blitz look by the Steelers. So many teams are doing this now. So when you try to play a soft zone behind the blitz, they're throwing these quick screens, and look what happens. All the linemen are able to get out, and who is going to get in the way of 3 big offensive linemen? Look at that. Olin Kreutz, Omiel, you said it, Orlando Pace. Excellent play call.
Second catch for Bennett, picks up 15 on a 3rd and 13. Cutler now plants the feet, fires it. Knox makes the catch, then dropped it when he hit the ground. That's going to be incomplete. That's again the rule you saw last week on that Oakland-San Diego game that so many may have misinterpreted. You got to take it to the ground and hold on to the catch for it to be a catch.
Yes, you do. If you're taken to the ground, you got to basically get up with it.
That's Ryan Clark with the hit.
And that is incomplete. No question. Don't challenge it. Watch Devin Hester go across the field. He's open. The play is designed to throw it to him deep. And you could hear everybody in the stadium going,
yeah, the booing.
Because they thought he was going to be, Cutler was going to throw a long pass for a touchdown.
I think they also think Lovey should throw the red flag because they don't understand the rule. So they're wanting a challenge, but the Bears know better. And that is Forte falling at the 40 for a gain of 5. After scandal tears her life apart, how will the good wife put it back together? Emmy winner Juliana Margulies stars, and it all premieres Tuesday on America's most watched network. Forte, 5 carries, 10 yards. This is a player who had the highest percentage of his team's offense in the whole league last year as a rookie. Accounted for 36% of his team's offense. Better than anyone, including Adrian Peterson. In the slot now, he's moved on that left side. The pass was going to him, but it was deflected by William Gay, or was it Lawrence Timmons? Both of them influencing the play.
That's where you got to call a timeout or change the play. Even I knew from up here, the Steelers had it overloaded on one side to Jay Cutler's left, and there was no way you were going to make a play. Steelers showing some new looks in the second half. Confused Chicago both series.
Maynard and Sepulveda, the 2 punters, playing key roles here in this chess match, this field position game. It's a 49-yard punt. Logan has a hole, and he's got about a 20-yard return. 7-7. It remains inside 7. Third quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL.
Are we looking at the skyline of a future Olympic city? 2016, we'll know in 12 days. It'll be either Chicago, Rio, Madrid, or Tokyo. Steelers involved in yet another slugfest like they were 10 days ago. on first down. Roethlisberger goes underneath and falling back as Mendenhall getting back up. And he's got some room on the right side. Flag is thrown. Never would have imagined he could have made something out of that. Roethlisberger threw a block.
That could be the penalty.
He's hitting Hillenmeyer. Roethlisberger was.
There's no foul for a low block. It was beyond 5 yards.
So the 13-yard run or after catch holds up.
Well, again, just how long, what an outlet throw. And have the presence of mind to reverse field. But watch the block by Ben Roethlisberger. Since it was at least 5 yards down the field, that's why it was not a penalty.
Pretty good block. We've seen him tackle Nick Harper years ago in a playoff game. Now we've seen him block the middle linebacker for the Bears, who's throwing touchdowns. That's a common occurrence. That's Danielle Manning with a tackle for no gain.
Well, Jim, this game is exactly what we thought it would be. Two good defenses. And when you're good on defense, that means you have speed. And speed makes plays in the NFL.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 97, defense. 15-yard penalty.
Ooh, that's a big one.
First down.
On Mark Anderson. That'll move the ball to the Chicago side. Locked up with Heath Miller. Oh, he got 2 for 1. Actually shoved Butch Hanna, also the umpire, by accident.
Well, you got to know if you do something like that, it's going to be seen. 15 yards. Steelers are 1 first down away from trying to field goal.
Mendenhall strides free inside the 30. Taken off past Payne. Payne got him down inside the 5. Rashard Mendenhall in only his 6th career game in the league after his shortened rookie season goes for 39 yards.
Oh, what a good job. Willie Colon on the right side just pushes everything down, and it allows Rashard Mendenhall to come right up in there. Oh, and Kamo Atu once again, that's a couple big-time blocks by him. So push it down inside. The left guard pulls out, kicks it out. Afalava has no chance. And Rashard Mendenhall, look out. They think he's going to develop and get a good role in this running game for the Steelers as the year goes along.
Showed a lot right there, didn't he? Timeout Pittsburgh. After a 39-yard run by Mendenhall, the longest play of the day. Mendenhall setting up the Steelers.
Jim, you talked about it earlier. Short yardage running. I believe Rashard Mendenhall is going to end up being that running back, especially in these short yardage goal line situations.
So they took the timeout. They got him back in there. It was punted before the timeout. And a little bootleg. Roethlisberger dives in for the touchdown. Big Ben from 2 yards away.
Well, they're doing everything they can to help this short yardage running situations twice today. Good fakes, rolling the quarterback out to the right, this time to the left, and he makes a good decision right now to go, and then sees he can get there by diving over. Terrific play by Ben Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger's first ever visit to Soldier Field. Second time in his life he's been to Chicago. He brought his linemen here last year on a weekend they had free after a Thursday night game. And there's the extra point. There's a flag.
You know, when I played, you took your linemen out to the local restaurant. Now they put them on planes and take them to
offside.
yeah.
Defense.
That's what he
number
did.
33. Kick is good. 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Roethlisberger picks up the touchdown after picking up the tab the last time he came to Chicago. 14-7, Steelers back in front.
It is, as you can see, a foggy day in the Windy City. Cunningham will throw or run, sacked for the 4th time. Way a minute.
He got rid of the ball, Vern.
He must have, and completed it to somebody.
One of the most unforgettable games ever. Vern Lundquist was there to call it. Fog Bowl on New Year's Eve.
What was that last line? He completed it to somebody?
That's the best you could do. All the cameras were moved down to the sideline because they were worthless up high in the usual play-by-play position. They kick off from the 35 after the penalty on the PAT. Johnny Knox picks it up, and he's got some room if he can get to the outside. Watch this speed. There is a flag. It's coming back. There's a flag back at the 25-yard line. It's going to be about a 50-yard penalty, if you will.
Ten-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Offalava, the rookie, flag for that one.
Here he comes into the picture. He grabs the jersey. That's what does it. He had the angle. This guy was never going to make the play. Mundy wasn't going to be able to get off that block to get the tackle.
Actually ends up being an expense of 42 yards difference.
But boy, you can see the speed of Johnny Knox, the quick feet, able to get out of tight situations. Him, Devin Hester.
Phil, the Bears have more penalty yards this quarter than offensive yards. Back at the 13, down 7. Cutler. That's Forte's fourth catch. Goes for 9. Tyrone Carter gets him by the ankles.
I was going to say, though, Jim, you go, but by the time you go Johnny Knox, Devin Hester, you got Greg Olsen at tight end, you got Matt Forte, Earl Bennett, a wide receiver. Don't think the Chicago Bears need more receivers or anything like that. They have the speed and the talent to get this done with the group they have here now.
Yeah, Lovie Smith was kind of defending that thought this week, telling people, hey, we do have weapons, and it will come together. Here is Forte picking up the first.
Made a great point. How many weapons do you need? You've got an elite running back, an elite tight end, elite quarterback, and Devin Hester just a playmaker, which they've learned to get the football to in a lot of different situations. Just going to get, the more you get in there sometimes, you just make people unhappy.
We've got some return threats, obviously, with Hester now on punt returns. Manning was tops last year, kickoff returns in the NFC. Here's Hester wide to the left. It's been a rather quiet day for him to this point. First down, though, from the 25. Cutler. Oh, you could feel the presence of James Harrison.
That's what it was. James Harrison he created it all. That's what an outstanding pass rusher does for his teammates. He gives them lanes and opportunities to make plays. Orlando Pace just cannot stay with him, and when Cutler steps up, look at all the defenders waiting on him.
Look at Harrison never giving up on this play.
Well, there you go. Never giving up, right?
Never give up. That's the title of a new book. And that's coming out here in a few weeks by James Harrison about his life story. He did tell us one thing people learn from it. If a lot of people think I'm mean, they're going to find out I do have a soft side. Hester. Waited patiently and only picked up a yard. So 3rd and long coming up.
Well, I don't think he wanted you to tell everybody it's his soft side.
On a sensitive side.
Sensitive, maybe.
Carrying side.
We talked about this, though. Outside screens, the speed, the 3-4 defense, an extra guy standing up, and you can just tell. That's how they make these tackles so fast that they don't give up any extra yards after the catch.
They'll need 13 for the first. It's starting to rain again. You say Cutler's one quarterback that probably the rain doesn't affect his throwing, huh?
I've never seen the wind, the cold, or the rain, anything really affect the way he throws it. His arm stays consistent. He just keeps letting it go.
They go draw. And Forte hurdles out of bounds. And they're unhappy here, the patrons in Chicago. After a 5-yard gain, and the punting unit comes back out.
You know what that's called? It's called managing the game. Ron Turner, Lovie Smith, they don't like the way it's going. The Steelers are getting more aggressive. The blitzes, they're getting to the quarterback. So there's a long way to go. See if you get lucky on a draw play, punt it, and let's start again.
Maynard, who last year tied for the league in exclusive fair catches, sends one down. It will be returned by Logan. That pass, 3 Bears. Tries to high step past Adrian Peterson, who holds on. 46-yard punt, 9-yard run back. And Tuesday, after NCIS, see why critics call NCIS Los Angeles one of the can't miss series of the fall. Chris O'Donnell and LL Cool J on America's #1 network.
You know, you see Logan returning those kicks. What did Mike Tomlin tell us last night? I gave him one chance.
Against Washington, preseason.
One game, and he did really well, and he goes, all right, I'll give him one more. So that's how tight it is for guys trying to make rosters in the NFL.
He had 2 returns past the 50 against Washington. And here's the running play with Willie Parker. And they're starting now to shred that Chicago defense. That's 13 yards for Parker.
Yeah, the right side again. They found where they want to run the football. Trey Essex, nice block down again. Man, excellent job pulling through by Heath Miller. Came out to one more time. So the Steelers, not a lot of teams do that anymore. They move their linemen, they trap and they pull. A lot of teams in the NFL, everybody just stays together and they run this zone blocking. Not the Steelers. Been doing this for about 30 years.
They've run for 63 yards in this quarter. It has a minute and 20 to go, and the rain is intense. From midfield with a slippage, as Parker with Briggs holding down the position, holding him to a yard. Well, Pittsburgh last week became yet the latest Super Bowl champion to open up the season with a win. It's happened now 10 consecutive years. The defending champions opened week 1 with a win, but the second week they struggled, including the last time the Steelers won the Super Bowl a few years ago. They won the opener, lost to Jacksonville the second week. But they're up in this one. Second down and 9 from the 49, and that was intended for Miller. Meanwhile, Chicago with its home opener today, and we talked earlier about desperate teams after they lose their first game, they come home not trying to fall into that big hole so hard to climb out of. 0-2.
Well, 3 teams last year went to the playoffs starting 0-2, and we saw by the results so far today around the NFL. Look, the NFL season, I always say this, it's 5 seasons. It goes up and down.
Yep. But that 3 teams last year was statistically unusual. Have that many. 3rd and 9. Roethlisberger, there's his man. That's Holmes climbing up for it, and he's down at the 26. Holmes, who last week had 9 catches for 131 yards and a touchdown, numbers that were identical to his numbers in the Super Bowl when he was the MVP.
Top of your screen just squares it in. The linebackers, Hunter Hillenmeyer, not able to get over there quick enough. He's deep enough, but the soft spot is to the right side and deep. And Ben Roethlisberger once again looked right, and that opened up the hole over the middle for Santonio Holmes.
We're going to go to the 4th quarter with the Steelers driving and leading 14-7. We're back after this message and a word from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS. Pittsburgh with a touchdown in the 1st quarter. Bears tied it in the 2nd. Steelers with a touchdown in the 3rd. Jim Nance, Phil Simms on the scene here at Soldier Field. We start the 4th quarter, and the Steelers, off the big pass play to Holmes, are set up at the Chicago 26. That's Parker shaking off the first hit and taking it 6 yards. Got away from Agunlier.
Well, they have found what they want to do, Jim. If you noticed, all these good runs, they're coming to the right side. And they're just blocking them down, and they're pulling guys around. It's about the 4th time they've run the same play. And if you want to be a good running football team, your wide receivers better do it inside, coming down and getting those blocks, and going down the field and blocking for the running backs too.
There's Hines Ward, considered by many to be the best blocking wide receiver in the game. He's on a wing to the right, 2nd down and 4. They go left slant. It's Holmes. Takes it to the 11, 1st down.
You know, it's just so well done by Ben Roethlisberger. The blitz came up right by the center. He waited to make sure the offensive line knew, okay, there they are. And it was a running play, could have been to the right, not sure. Yeah, it could have been a running play to the right. And they have these little backside throws. If you want to throw that quick route to the left, you can do that instead of handing it off.
They didn't give him the crawl, the extra 2 yards, so it's back at the 13 with a new set of downs, 3 tight ends. And they're going to throw. It's Parker with Griggs wrapping him up at the 10, gain of 3.
You know, experience, talent. When you watch this Steeler offense, you just realize, we heard it last year, Jim, when Ben Roethlisberger would say, look, this offense, I get a lot of say in what we do. They let me, what did he say to us last night? He called most of the plays in the 4th quarter and the overtime last week against the Tennessee Titans. And it looks that he's so comfortable and gets from one receiver to the next so easy and fast.
And he knows how to improvise when he's in a pinch. 2nd down and 7. Dragged down by Alex Brown. Willie Parker set back 3, and he gives it the Gator clap again, the former Florida player. Well, can they hold the Steelers to just a field goal? And again, 12 and a half to go in the game.
Top of your screen, they just overload the side. When you do that, you're putting pressure on your defense. You got to chase it down from behind. The front side held up, made Willie Parker look to where he's going to go, and when he's trying to make that decision, they caught it from behind.
Or can they force a turnover in the red zone? They got a takeaway in that first half. Didn't have one last Sunday night. Roethlisberger. That's going down as a sack. He was waiting for the whistle. Standing upright at the 20. And Alex Brown in on that play as well.
It looks like they're going to have it picked up. And they do. But he's trying to throw the football quick. There's nothing there. Well, it was there. If he'd have just kind of stepped up in the pocket, easy for me to say, could have been a touchdown out in the left flat.
Jeff Reed, first ever attempt at Soldier Field on a messy field. Now back up to 38 yards with a 10-point lead. The kick is no good. An empty trip for the Steelers. Alex Brown makes 2 plays to force that kick back. A tackle for a loss and a sack, and it's still a 1-possession game.
Jeff Reed on the kick. Good hold, good spot. Field conditions, I don't think bothered it. Just got a little anxious maybe and pulls it.
How does the big man do that? Anthony Adams rolling off the field, but that's a huge miss.
I'll tell you how he does it. That's why he's playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's got a little athletic ability. At 325 can do a little forward roll.
47 of his last 48 Reed had made inside the 40 until that miss there. High toss over to Knox. Trying to get him a running start and let out that speed. Goes for 7. Hampton comes over to make the hit. Wednesdays on Showtime. Emmy Award winning Inside the NFL returns with Phil, JB, Chris, Warren Sapp. Longest running show on cable. Inside the NFL Wednesdays on Showtime. Mike Lombardi coming up this week. So will that missed field goal change the momentum back as the rain, it's getting even a little more intensified. 2nd and 3 for Teddy. He's knocked back for a yard loss by Ferrier. We've got an update. James Brown has it in New York.
Hey, Jim and Phil, Ravens capitalize on a San Diego Phillip Rivers pick. 4 plays, 22 yards. Flacco to Todd Heap for the 9-yard strike. 28-16 late in the 3rd. Boy, Baltimore with some offense to go with that D. Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
All right, JB, we saw signs of it last week, too, from the Ravens in their win against Kansas City. Flacco just another year experienced. McGahee with 2 touchdowns today.
Yeah, saw it in the preseason. Looks quicker, more decisive, and able to take advantage of his arm even more.
Here it's 3rd and 3 from the gun. Cutler Gets it to Hester. Two athletic plays, one by Cutler, the other by Hester to close in on that. Pick up 12 and a first.
Yeah, really tremendous job by Jay Cutler. And the blitzer comes free. It's James Ferrier. And Jay Cutler, excellent thrower on the run, always keeps his eyes down the field. And Devin Hester, they wanted improvement at the receiver position for him from last year to this year.
What do you see? What's the difference?
Just better route runner, real sure of what he's doing, and just watching him in practice doing sharp routes and doing a lot of good double moves.
And first down play action.
Like this.
Down the field to Olsen, and there's that collision again with Carter. But it goes for a big gain of 29 yards, and they're set up at the Pittsburgh 23.
It's the Denver play. They used to do it a lot. The quarterback goes to his right, and usually you expect the tight end to go across the field, but look, he changes and goes up the middle. The defenders do not go with him. Oh, what a job by Greg Olsen.
Well, Olsen almost lost that ball.
Well, he could see the hit coming.
Yep.
Excellent play. Well designed. Very unusual, even for the NFL.
Forte split out wide to the right. First down, Chicago. Cutler zings it down to the 15. And that's Kellen Davis with another grab, a gain of 8. Cutler over 200 yards and a touchdown, no picks. After 4 a week ago, he said he'd never thrown forward any level.
Well, and then I asked him, did you ever hesitate making a decision and throwing the football after you started throwing those interceptions? And he looked at us and smirked and goes, no. And I could tell, I know it. I saw him and I watched the game very closely. He just kept letting it fly.
2nd and 2. And another completion to Olsen. Cutler's 5 for 5 on this drive.
He's really tough to sack when you blitz him and he's in the shotgun, because I love this about the quarterbacks. They backpedal when they see pressure coming. They don't stand in it, just drift backwards, throws off balance. So if he is hit, he can absorb it. It doesn't hurt. And the receivers know. They look quick. They know the blitz is coming. Good job of protecting the football again by Olsen.
1st and goal to go. Just when it looked like the Steelers had a chance to go up 14 or even 10 once they were stopped on that drive. Failed to convert. Bears looking at tying it. Cutler throws it away. Over the head of Hester, who was well guarded there by Ike Taylor.
Look top of your screen. You're the quarterback. Anybody open? Tight end. Oh, in the flat quick. He was looking in the end zone for Devin Hester, and he does not see the receiver in the right flat. That was Earl Bennett, uncovered.
Second and goal from the 8. They go run. Forte twisting for only a yard. Now what do you do? 3rd and goal from the 7.
Well, I know this. I'm going to throw it. Again, Jim, I go back to where you are in the field. I like vertical passes. In other words, going towards the back of the end zone, or can you get a receiver to the back of the end zone and run across? Because defenders know there's an end line behind them, so they look forward and they lose their sense of that area 4 or 5 yards to the back of the end zone.
So empty it out. Here comes the blitz, the pass. Knox has the grab. Touchdown, Chicago. Wow. Tyrone Carter on the coverage. They were coming after Cutler. He unleashed it in a hurry, and he hits the rookie for the touchdown.
Well, the Steelers got to be frustrated. Look at the guys coming free. And what a job by Knox. Gets inside, goes up in the air. He's going to protect himself and the football from the defender.
A lot of Bobby Gould, who's only missed 1 point after in his entire career, and it came against Pittsburgh back in 05. Now making his 129th consecutive PAT to tie the game. Cutler 6 out of 7 on the drive. Knox hauls in the game-tying touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Warner Brothers Pictures' new comedy, The Informant, starring Matt Damon, now playing in theaters everywhere. And by Bud Light, with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability.
A good one unfolding here in the Windy City Gym Nance with Phil Simms. Chicago with a 9-play drive. Cutler on fire that time to tie it. With 6:21 to go, Logan juggles it for a moment and sprints out to the 28. Maybe got it to the 30. Cutler hits the mark on 3rd down to Knox. Game time. Here in Chicago, 2 of the great young guns in the game. They've accounted for the team's touchdowns. Cutler tossing 2. Roethlisberger throwing 1 and running for 1. These 2, there's some symmetry, if you will. Of course, Roethlisberger has the 2 rings. He was drafted 2 years ahead of Cutler. He was the 11th pick of the draft, was Roethlisberger back in 04. Cutler was the 11th player taken in 06. They both were the 3rd quarterback in their class taken. And now let's see what Big Ben does. He relishes this situation. Game tied or a little behind in the 4th quarter. He throws it to Ward for a short gain of 4. Lance Briggs quickly in on the play.
I just want to say this, and I said it to you in the commercial. You can say what you want. I know Jay Cutler, the interceptions last week and moving teams and the way he acts, but he has got a special talent to throw the football. There's no denying it. And it is something every team's got to deal with when they face him. You have to be afraid of his ability just to make throws against your defense.
He can unload it so fast, and again unload it too, falling back. Here's Roethlisberger's pass for a 1st down. And it's Ward again, this time for 10. Next Saturday, Bobby Petrino's Arkansas Razorbacks. The road trip down to Bama. Take on Nick Saban's Crimson Tide. Vernon Gary will have the call. Tim and Spencer in the studio with the TIAA Prep College Football today. That's next week here on CBS. 1st and 10. Got to stack the line, and getting past it's Milweldy Moore. Takes it all the way down to the Chicago 43.
That was just an, I don't know if Ben Roethlisberger audible to this, but
that went for 15.
But they see 2 blitzers inside, and they had so much trouble with that kind of blitz last year against the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants. They've been waiting on it for today against the Bears team. And when that safety was back in the middle, Roethlisberger knew that that time they were probably going to blitz. That run play was perfect for that defense.
With just 4.5 to play. Roethlisberger to Holmes, and this field again, it's an issue here. Both the defender and the receiver slipped on that one.
Keep your feet in the ground. You can't lean in situations like this. Let's watch Antonio Holmes. Does he lean too much? Yeah, he kind of leans inside just a little bit. So think about it, Jim. When you lean, not all your cleats are in the ground, and that's why you slip. You know, overall, you don't see much slipping, and they're not tearing up the turf. So
seems like there's been a lot of slipping, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 2nd down and 10. They both went down on that one. Big pass, and right to the hands of Hines Ward. There is a flag.
But the 2 slips we've seen, the big ones, not to argue about it, is
well, Olsen dropped, had a touchdown play.
It was footwork.
Offside. Defense. Number 96. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So the Bears jumped that time.
That was it's huge. You just stopped the quick screen.
Yep.
When you got the defense, they're aggressive. Oh, just a little tiny beat off the snap count.
Yep. Would have been 3rd and 10. Back up your point. Instead, 2nd and 5. Roethlisberger's pass, and he was under pressure by Lance Briggs. Let's turn it over to James Brown with an update.
Jim and Phil, Phillip Rivers hot today indeed. 18 of 30, 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. And hooking up here with Vincent Jackson, a 35-yard strike. Boomer just hit the biscuit in the basket. Nicely placed. 28-23, start of the 4th in San Diego. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Boy, Rivers putting up some numbers in that game, but his team is trailing. And Vincent Jackson hauling that one in. Alex Brown has had a very active game, shaken up, so there's a timeout on the field. He's had a couple of sacks, but getting the attention from the medical crew.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Scrabble at Subway is back. So many chances to win and so many great prizes. Play Scrabble at Subway, where winners eat. And by Verizon Wireless, America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family.
Alex Brown helped to the bench, hobbling off the field. And a huge 3rd down play coming up. Pittsburgh at the 38 of Chicago. 3rd and 5. Mark Anderson takes the place of Alex Brown on that defensive front. Roethlisberger can try to run for it. He stretches it out. Believe he's got it. I'm going to call for a measurement.
Well, good job of Simpson. The middle opens up and he takes off. Let's watch the spot. Oh, that was what a job by Roethlisberger. His knees did not go down. He dove, kept his body.
They backed up the spot a little bit though with the knee, where the knee hit. He's got the first anyway. How about that with 3:58 to go? By the length of a football, even a little less. Cutler's starting to realize he may not get a chance to look at that football again, or if he does, it might be very late and he's coming from behind. Next Sunday's another doubleheader day here on CBS, celebrating our 50th year covering the National Football League. Early, many will see Kansas City, Philly, Tennessee at the Jets, and late the main game nationally, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, all beginning with JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. NFL Today. From the 33. Moore is the tailback. Moore gets the handle. And a good play by Tommy Harris backs him up too. Well, Jeff Reed kicked the game winner the first week. His 8th career game-winning field goal. Might be setting up for another one. Timeout Chicago. You like that timeout by the Bears there, Phil?
Yeah, they're looking ahead right now for the game. The time, in case the Steelers get another first down, the 2-minute stoppage. But you got to plan. Okay, if they do kick the field goal, we got to give ourselves enough time to try to go back and count it.
2nd and 12 from the Chicago 35. Wide open. The defender slipped. Tillman was down on the ground. And Wallace makes the grab, takes it to the 25. He's 2 yards short of the first.
Well, you're making a good point. Tillman does slip. Let's watch him as he tries to come back. Yeah, his cleats, what it looks like, it's like their cleats don't even go into the ground. That's why they're slipping. Because if you look at it, they're not tearing up turf. You don't see any big divots on it. And, Tim, it's sprinkled. This shouldn't make the field this way. Well, let's know this. Coming into the game, some of the Bear players have complained about the footing and the grass field here in Chicago.
Big 3rd and 2 for Pittsburgh. Clock running, 3:29 to go. Roethlisberger goes down the field. He's open. And Tillman got a hand on it to knock it away. Was looking for Holmes. going to bring out Reed from about 43, but more importantly, there's still 3:23 to go. This looked for a moment wide open, didn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it did. It did. And I'll tell you, he makes the throw, and Tillman does a good job. He times it. When Santonio Holmes puts his hands out, that's when he raised his, and he could have blocked the view of Santonio Holmes.
Now remember, Reed's already missed one in this direction in this quarter from 38. This one's 5 yards longer. He made 19 of his last 21 in the fourth quarter, even with that miss. From 43, Reed, no again! Wide left for the second straight time.
Watching kick, the body language tells you it's going to be a pull. He just leans back. It looks like it's, I don't know, kicking well enough, but it looks like he gets too close to the football.
This will set up the Bears, too, at the 33-yard line.
Time is not a factor, of course. 3:18, 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. The only factor it is, no matter what happens, you don't want to give it back to the Steelers with a chance to beat you.
So with 3:18, Chicago takes over, game time. They go screen. Forte digs it out. He's taken off and he fumbles the football. Fallen on by Olsen. Stripped by Harrison. Boy, James Harrison led the league in forced fumbles last year, had one last week, forced a fumble here, but it's recovered by the Bears.
I would have, no surprise, it's a screen play, take advantage of an aggressive defense, but you say that about James Harrison because he has the speed and the power to chase you from behind and make plays.
Now look where Chicago resides now, at the Pittsburgh 45 with 2:35 to go. Quick toss over to Knox. He really doesn't need to race for that sideline now. That's a 5-yard gain to the 40. Might be Gould now. This could come down to his leg.
Well, I'll tell you, too, this game today, Jay Cutler, to this point, has been almost perfect. And the quick passing game that the Bears had ready for the Steelers defense, it's kind of been the difference.
It might have been better served if Knox would have stayed in bounds. 2:27 to go, 2nd and 5. Forte just to the 39. Now the Steelers have 2 timeouts. 3rd and 4 on the way. And it looks like Pittsburgh's going to go ahead and let this run down to the 2-minute warning. Third and 4 coming up out of the break for the Bears. Game tied. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Steelers and Bears. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms here in Chicago. Game tied. At the 2-minute warning, 60 minutes coming up in its entirety immediately following the game, except on the West Coast. 3rd and 4.
Little Pittsburgh formation. Well, they move out of it.
Put Olsen in the backfield. Cutler flings it. Ball is caught for the first down. That's Devin Hester, who's made 2 nice grabs in this quarter. So now Chicago can dictate.
Good formation. 3 receivers all come at once at the defense. They spread it, and Devin Hester sits down underneath. And a nice throw, nice safe throw by Jay Cutler.
Now we'll work the last 129 and counting to try to get Gould closer, who's never attempted, by the way, in his career, a field goal of 50 yards at Soldier Field. It would be 51, 52 from about right here. And they move closer with Forte just inside the 30. Pittsburgh again, 2 timeouts. And now they take 1. Just a reminder that also tonight on CBS, a big night with Neil Patrick Harris hosting live the Emmys, the primetime Emmys tonight on CBS coming up. 60 Minutes and the Emmys on America's Most Watched Network.
I would say the Bears are thinking they need at least 10 more yards to feel good about a field goal attempt. 10 more yards gives them about a 37 to 38-yard field goal attempt.
Cutler in this quarter, Phil, 9 out of 10 for 93 yards.
Well, as you watch, preseason gets players somewhat ready to play the regular season. But now, as this year goes along, Ron Turner, they're going to learn more about Jay Cutler and learn to put more plays in for him that suit him, that he can execute well.
2nd and 6. It's Forte driving behind the right tackle, Chris Williams, and another timeout quickly called by Pittsburgh, their last. It's last timeout with 1:07 to go.
And that's probably why the Bears ran the football. Make the Steelers use their last timeout, and now they have total control of the game. Get a first down and run the clock down to wherever you want it to get your field goal attempt.
Boy, we talked with Levy on Friday. That fan club could expand here in just a few minutes if he, in fact, is the man who delivers the winning goods. If he gets a chance to do that. But the bad taste that Levy talked about that they had after the loss to Green Bay, and what better way to get it out than to have the Super Bowl champs here and beat them. We call it, he said, a signature victory. A 3rd and 3 and about 45-yard field goal from this distance as Forte just manages to get back to the line. So I don't know, slippery field, 45 yards, no sure thing.
Yeah, I would say too conservative for me. Your quarterback, your formations, your screens, you're handling the blitz, everything is in your favor. To finish the statement, I would have thrown the football or put it in Jay Cutler's hands.
Well, he's going to get it down to about 21 seconds before he calls a timeout. Two guys staring at a clock. Now you turn. Oh, man, that's an illegal shot to the face. Scott Green maybe in line for a little fine this week.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Blow to the head. But, you know, I watched last week's game when they're in Green Bay, and I was just a fan sitting at home as I was watching it, and the Bears went on the field for that last drive, and I thought, well, they won't be able to stop it, given Jay Cutler, the receivers, what they're doing. Give them 4 downs. They'll get down there and get a chance to win the game. But
well, Robbie Gould, Phil, has made his last 13 field goals if you go back to week 11 last year in Green Bay. It's going to be 44 yards. Maynard on the hold. Patrick Manley will snap it back. Can he get the proper footing? Can he get planted to deliver the big three? Gould from 44. Kick. It's good. Maynard did a good job to get that down a little high and inside.
Yeah, but he flushed it, Jim. He did, didn't he? You could tell by the spin of the football. He hit it exactly where he wanted to. It's a little left of center.
10 unanswered points in the quarter by the Bears.
Well, the Bears, they beat the Steelers kind of at their own game today. Just kind of hung in. You never felt like, hey, the Bears are in control with it. They definitely going to win it.
Urlacher raises the good wrist. And Jeff Reed let's face it, so reliable for so long. Just won the game a week ago, 10 days ago. Tied it to send it to overtime, won it in overtime. 8 game-winning kicks at the end, missing 2 in this quarter. Logan, they kick it to him. He's dangerous. And he's walloped at the 32. Ball is out. If the Bears have it, they do. This game is over. Chicago's going to knock out the Super Bowl champs. Craig Steltz falls on it. Jamar Williams was in on the hit. Steltz on the recovery. And a kneel down away from victory. You know, Lovey had, in his 5 previous years, had opened 3 years with a loss, and every time he came back with that crucial week 2 with a win. Now he's 4 for 4 in that scenario. (17-14) Chicago victory. Both teams walk away 1-1 on this young season. Phil, I'll see you in Cincinnati next week, my friend. Look forward to it. Jim Nantz and all the crew saying so long from here. James Brown in New York.
All right, Jim, thank you so much. We're going to take you now to a very competitive ball game in San Diego. Ravens holding to a 2-point lead. Ravens with the ball. 7:04 left in the 4th. Let's join Dick Enberg and Dan Fouts.